Shalom. Yahshua, quick video. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle, elder bishops, great millstone. My salutation to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect, who to be the elect, most high will, to the hopeful extended elect, shalom blessings, men, women, and children. We continue to exalt those names, Yahweh, he is to be, he is. His son, Yahweh Shai, he that delivers, he that saves. We always say in the name of the Holy Spirit. The victuals, which are goods, have become cheap now. And that lets you know just we're in the end of times, which is we're in the base state, like America's in a base state. The average citizen in America, the well-off citizen in America is concerned about his own status or his own worth in America. Like, you can have riches and live good, but if something's happened on the earth to where you're worried about it, it affects you. Just like this racial tension growing, just like brink of World War III, civil unrest, famine. What's money if all these things affect your lifestyle, or your living? But behold, Second Esdras 16 is 21. It says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." And the productivity and the merchandise of this place is none of value, man. It's not like it used to be. And just take, for instance, now I looked it up in Google, and I said, well, is it healthier to drink from a glass bottle than it is from a plastic bottle? I said, yeah, because, the plastic of the bottle that's holding the water is not able to, it's not made of plastic, so it's not able to get into the water when using a glass bottle. But this, over time, you got pieces of plastic that gets into the water because of being in a plastic bottle. And this is the reason why, because when they have what you call transporting this merchandise and transporting water, if they did it in glass bottles, the glass bottles will break, and if they try to use plastic, they would have to use enough plastic it just takes a lot of money for all the bottles to be safe. So they be like, well, let's just use plastic bottles. But these bottles are getting, this plastic is getting thinner and thinner, man. Like, some of them don't even have labels, man. But, and they say, I don't know how true it is, but I just looked it up. They said tap water is better than the drinking water. But at this point, you gotta spit out the bones with everything. Anyway, scripture that we know well, Psalms 82 and 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course, man. The food is not real no more. GMO. The trees, it's probably more fake trees than it. People like plants and all that inside their house. They don't even buy real plants no more. Nobody has time to really focus on taking care of them because they work so much, or on social media or on their phones. Like, nobody really tends to the care of this world. Nobody tends to cultivating this life but their own, you know. Uh, I think I said it's 43 million people that drink from wells, but they said, according to Google, the people that drink otherwise are have more health benefits than the people that drink from the wells. I don't know how true that is, but America has definitely changed the system of this land before it. I mean, you know, after they came here, after they came to conquer our people, so-called Native Americans, you know, Israelites, you know, the Reubenites, well, basically, Issachar got caught, you know, so-called Mexicans, and a lot of them were Jakes too, got caught up in the Spanish Inquisition. But you could see how they corrupted everything, man. Well, it says he that what he now stolen enough grapes, stolen enough. And you know, it might seem small, or just like, you know, a man complaining, a woman complaining. They go buy groceries and then they buy a bag of chips, and you know the chip filled up to here, and you know you maybe hear something, and it's enough space for more chips to, and then they'll make the design all the way up here so you won't see. I mean, they cover the whole bag so you won't see that it's basically a half a bag of chips that you paying $3 or $4, $5 for. Little things like that. Not using so much material to make clothing anymore. The clothing is getting thinner. You know, you buy a shirt and you catch it on a fence, it'll rip your whole shirt apart, man. Like, what the hell? Nothing's 100% cotton or wool no more. You know, mixed fabrics, polyester. You know, and you know that's why Most High said our righteousness is filthy rags. And that's why we said we're not perfect, because we're not supposed to wear mixed fabrics. It's impossible, really. Even if they said 100% wool, 100% cotton, they could still lie, just like they do with food. So if you do have 100% cotton shirt and clothing, or whatever, but then your food is not, you know, it's contaminated, you know, polluted, whatever, you know, it's still you're going, you know, it's still no good. And they could be, let's say they fixing burgers, but they using the pork, the same grease they cook pork with for your burger, you know, or you know, keeping the land Sabbath and all that. Some Jakes have land, they buy land, but you know they're not keeping the land Sabbath. So, you know, all the foundation, you know, courses of foundation, what did it say? All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Then you go to Obadiah 5:1-5. It says, if these come to thee, and this is concerning Edom, because you could, you know, go to the very first verse. I heard a rumor. And I'll start at 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, like America. It's on the coin, it's on the dollar. Hell, even as Rome, they used the eagle. It talked about Alexander the Greek. His rule was like swift as an eagle. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, going up into what they call space of the firmaments, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord, Yahweh, all caps. If thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? You know, if the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Now, what if you did have so if you had that today, like I had a cousin like that, you know, he'll break in the house, steal certain things and leave certain things. And, you know, you'll know that it was him. Because if he did it to a family member, he said, it's somebody we know. Because if not, they would have taken all this stuff. But, you know, even a thief may consider like, man, nah, you know, it's all backwards today. It might be, damn, since it's Christmas, you know, I didn't steal the toys under the tree, but I took everything else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Try to be, you know, which is crazy as hell. But you know, you got sometimes those elements out there like that, like those stories, which are never in the news because, you know, it seems stupid, like to talk about how somebody could think like that. But it said, how are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? You know, so, you know, these hidden things are being sought up by, you know, what people see as, you know, being brought out on the news, being brought out on TikTok and YouTube by the prophets, you know, like this man, he's really greedy. The thief come not but to steal, kill, and destroy. He's really destroying the earth. He's really, you know, bypassing all the cultivation and all the process of things, the growth of things. He just wants a straight GMO. He wants the straight, you know, a matrix thing. Humans are not no longer born, but they're grown. They're already, you know, he wants them to already have the knowledge. He just imputed in you know. He want to control, like we said, control human beings, control the narrative. He wants to make, if you're a child born, he say, well, let's impute him with this and that and that. Not that yet, but this, that, and then when he get older, or so if, you know, even with the name of Yahweh Yahushai, they could just delete it out your mind. But if you take the C-hip, you're done anyway. Says it doesn't matter anyway at that point. But this is who we're dealing with. You know, how can we get faster material? And we don't care if it's cheap, if it becomes cheap. We just want it fast and convenient. So the hell with the health of people. We'll let them figure that out. But, you know, well, then they'll say, well, they're drinking water and they have no complaints. But, you know, people are just finding out that there's plastic particles in the water. And it's not really a crime because people have a choice not to drink water or that type of water. Even if it was such thing as better water, they say, well, that's all the way up on the hills. Well, if you care about your life, you go all the way. You'll drive 200 miles to get some water. Get enough water, rent you a truck, get enough water, come back, and do that every month or two, and you'll get better water. But, you know, what they're doing is not considered criminal behavior because, you know, people really don't complain about it, not anything, you know. And then people, maybe they have a guilty conscience about that, because it says, who complains, what man complained for the punishment of his sins? So maybe they feel like, shit, I'm not shit. So how can I complain about them? And, they're basically right. Like, they'll put you in the ghettos and say, well, you're the one that doesn't want to get out. I mean, if you really want to get out, you'll get out. You know? But we did, give you at least a place to rest your head. If your house is falling apart, aren't you? But then you have to check with them to fix it up and add to the house or whatever. Even if you want to build a porch or something, you have to talk to them. So they're evil for doing that anyway. We know they're evil. Lamentations 3:39, wherefore do a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? So we really don't complain that much. We talk about things that Esau does, but, we know we're here because of reason. Our low state here in America because of breaking the laws with the Most High. So we don't really, but our flesh does cry out, like, man, the hell? Because Esau is evil and he's wicked as hell. But what did it say? The lot of the wicked shall not rest on the light of the righteous, lest he put forth his hand to iniquity. So, like I said, they'll put Jake in the ghetto and they'll say, well, they'll give him GMO foods and, plastic, how you say it, water with plastic in it, give him a torn down house, and then, he gets into drugs and he's fighting and he's killing, he's gang banging. They say, well, shit, what are you supposed to give to a gangbanger? What are you supposed to give to a crackhead or a crack dealer? Shit, they better be glad they have anything. So, and that's wicked as hell, man, because you beat somebody's spirit down and say, well, that's almost like, a sodomite trying to sodomize you and shit, and then you cut his fucking head off. And then they say, well, why'd you do that? Well, he tried to get me. And then they were like, well, it's a better way to handle things. Shouldn't have did that, sir. I mean, but what are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a kid or something, and he's a grown man or he's much stronger than he, you take a bat and beat his brains out because you think he can outmuscle you or take. That's why Apostle Hart said kids should learn jitsu, jitsu, where they are able to kick a couple of men's asses if they try something like that. But when you do that, you're considered a deadly weapon, even no matter how young you are, because they be like, well, damn, you're a professional fighter, even though you're 12 years old, and these men are 40 years old, and they're stronger, you're still a deadly weapon. So you can't win with Esau, man, his demon ass. You're not supposed to be strong in this place. You're not supposed to be strong-minded. You're not supposed to eat the best you can. And if you try and you fail or whatever, or you end up eating some poison and or getting sick, they're gonna be like, well, that was a mishap. We encourage people to eat better. We got gyms out there, drink water, but they don't stop the companies from selling that the companies are not shut down. The sodomite cities are not shut down. Hollywood is a whole Sodom witchcraft, driven place, and they still are prospering and still. Epstein Island, I don't think they seized that island. So you got all this corrupt shit going on, man, and they act like Most High don't see it, man. But it's and Esau be nickels and dimes, even though he's getting rid of the money system, going into digital. He still nickels and dimes people, man. You short of a nickel and dime, they're gonna get on your ass, or you you short of paying your bills or something, like a phone bill you've been paying for years, and they can't let you off $5. You've been a loyal customer, and they'll turn your phone off. You know, they don't even got no props. You know, sometimes they do. Like you'll get a free phone after if you stay with us for that so long. But you know, the overall America, wicked as hell, barbaric in their ways, greedy. You know, fucking greedy as hell, man. And they'll overwork you. You know, and not even care about it. Like they don't even care how much money you get. It's still who they call illegal aliens, which is bogus as hell in itself. They still have them knowing that they working out there without a legal citizenship for years at these companies, and now they're gonna come out with, well, if you're illegal, we're gonna deport you, or you know they got ISIS out there, but they've been getting free labor from these with no benefits, because a lot of them illegal aliens they work under the table for these devils with no benefits, but you know, and all the devils have to say that they work for is like, hey, you get out of hand, Pedro, I'm gonna report you now. That's so we still in slavery, man. And those all the Edomites are going into hell in slavery. Best believe that. Best believe that. Every one of these devil Edomites are going into slavery. I don't care how nice you act. And then if you trip out because of that, well, I'm just gonna be an Edomite. Do that. But your soul is gonna be accounted for, and it's gonna go into the depths of a hellish pit, man. You know, and I know it sounds poetic because Esau painted like that in these movies. Fuck that, you going into hell. Ain't nothing poetic about that shit. That's in the scriptures. Pit. It ain't nothing nice about it. It's gonna be worse than the ghettos and the slums that the Negroes live in. Way worse. But I'm just saying these are the devils that the Bible speaks of because, of course, they're not fair. And you know, when you look back at it, you'd be like, well, all this criminal activity happening on their part, but, you know, everything's still standing. You know, this is the false advertisement of food products. 100% this, 100%. It's not 100%. It's mixed with shit. The silverware where we buy is not real silver. That's false advertisement. Oh, you could please do. You're gonna act like you know you don't know. Nobody knows about that and shit. That's little, dude. Like, now, well, Most High is concerned about the little things because He said the saints are gonna judge the smallest matters. So when we get that power in our hand, it might seem small to you, but we can get your head cut off for it. That's how it was back in the day in the ancient world. These devils grew up they grew up spoiled without correction and rebuke and without the law, without the old law, to where, you know, you'll get stoned for the shit they doing today. That's why these devils act like this, man. That's why these Edomites act like this, because they ain't never been whipped before. They ain't never been corrected, and they laugh and they, you know, do butt crack jokes and shit, you know, fuck sheep and shit as just for fun, you know, real sheep just for fun, you know, go out there and cause havoc just for fun, the Dukes of Hazzard and all that, you know, because they're just spoiled kids. Rich, spoiled kids. Of course, they're going to look at us like we're crazy. Dude, why are you getting angry? Why are you complaining? Because they ain't going through oppression. It says oppression maketh a wise man mad. So a wise man to be mad about anything. Oh shit, you sold me this jewelry, gold, and it ain't real gold. It's gold plated. You sold me a car, and you know you knew it was gonna break down. It might not break down today, but you knew it had a bad this and that. You try to find a guy, and he's not to be found. You gonna get mad as hell, man. And let somebody tell you, get over it, dude. Like, just get another card, man. Like, fuck out of here, man. Y'all going into hell, man. I'm talking about real hell. I'm talking about 1,000 years of slavery, man. You know? And believe me, the way we gonna treat y'all is gonna be worse than burning in hell forever. Because that doesn't exist. But if it did, we gonna do you worse than that. Because you're gonna have a conscience to take all that in, what we're saying to you and what we're doing. Because this is some bogus shit. It's some wicked ass shit happening on this earth. Underground, out of sight, out of mind. Who cares, dude? Why are you worried about the people underground? You know, why are you worried about what they do? Oh, they're molesting children. So, I mean, of course nobody wants that, dude, but why are you worried about it? Like, what can we do about it? That's a fucking ass spirit that's a weak ass spirit, man. Spirit that, don't let him be your leader or your you know, or the prophet. Don't let him be, you know. Anyway, I can go on rant all day, man. Hopefully it was edifying to the next video. Shalom.